There's a number of reasons why the likes of Simon Cowell, Rihanna and other major celebrities flock to Barbados. For starters, their beaches. With white, soft sand and clear, warm turquoise waters, they're some of the best in the world. Yes, the island really is a tropical paradise, but there's a rich history and vibrant culture to explore, as well as a superb range of water sports. If you're visiting Barbados, you really need to take as much advantage of being close to the sea as possible. And so a hotel on the beach is a must. The 40-suite Cobbler's Cove Hotel, part of the Relais Chateau Group, is one of the best 5-star hotels on the island. It's best described as English elegance with Caribbean character, and its beachside location on the exclusive platinum west coast of Barbados offers guests peace and tranquility in lush tropical surroundings.
It was bought in 1968 by Alan Godsall. It was then the former home to the Haynes family. And both the Godsall and Haynes families have a rich history on the island with sugar plantations. And when Alan Godsall bought it, he had the vision of turning it into a hotel. And during the 1970s, created 10 cottages around the beautiful grounds of Cobbler's Cove. And today we have a 40-room property, which has recently been handed over to Alan's son Hugh Godsall, and it's under his directorship now that we will forge forward with the business so that it remains in the family. And we recognise that as a small property, it is the little touches that mean so much. You instantly begin to relax when you arrive here. We are truly lucky to have at the helm in the kitchen Michael Harrison, who is a local Barbadian. He started his career at Cobbler's Cove as a waiter. It's under his stewardship with the rest of the team that the hotel was awarded the BHTA Best Restaurant on the Island 2014, which we were absolutely thrilled about.
The food in Barbados is full of flavor, it's full of colors. It really represents what the Caribbean is all about when you speak about flavor and colors, and a lot of our food comes from, I would say, our grandmother's style of cooking, and there are few dishes, many of them that came through slavery or from slavery. For me, I like to experiment a lot with seafood because we have such beautiful seafood in the ocean.
To provide guests with a real insight into true, authentic Barbadian food, Cobbler's Cove send their food-loving guests on a private tour of the local markets with their head chef.
I don't think many people perhaps will take a chance to go into the market while here in Barbados. So to go into the market with the chef or with a local, it is absolutely incredible, and doing it on Saturdays where the market is so busy and so bustling with all the great characters you would have met and the colors and the smell, and eating some of the local foods in the food court. That's just basic food, and food that we perhaps might not think very much of as chefs, that are so amazing and so delicious and so real and authentic. What I like about the tour is that it's allowing me to enjoy more of our food. Because as Bajan, as chefs, we sometimes think that the cocoa and the flying fish or the pudding and sauce is not good enough to put against the French cuisine or against the Italian. But having the guests eat that and enjoy that, it shows me that our food could stand against any food anywhere in the world. By doing those tours, it has allowed me to really embrace our culture and our food and just love it, because they get to see things and they get to see the expressions on the customer's face when they try it and they enjoy it. So yes, I love it more than the guests personally, yes.
Bridgetown is the capital of Barbados and a port city on the southwest coast of the island. It's known for its British colonial architecture and 17th century garrison, as well as a fantastic array of duty-free shops. Out of town and dotted around the island, you'll find a number of brightly coloured boutique shops. They're called chattel villages and are built to look like traditional chattel houses. These tend to stock more arts and craft items, but if you're looking for high-end fashion, you won't be disappointed, as many of the major fashion houses have shops in Barbados. Driving around the island, there's no escaping the sugar plantation history. Sugar canes were first planted in Barbados around 1640, but it was almost 100 years later before the crop was used to produce rum on a commercial basis. Visiting one of the many plantation houses is a must, and at St Nicholas Abbey you'll find the main house has been transformed into a museum. It's also one of only 3 genuine Jacobean mansions in the Western Hemisphere. The Abbey still produces rum today, including 10 and 15-year-olds, both of which are hand-bottled from the barrel straight into their beautiful glass decanters. If you're a garden lover and want to find out more about the tropical vegetation in Barbados, then head for Hunt's Garden. Created by leading horticulturalist Anthony Hunt, it's considered one of the most fascinating gardens in the island.
I did the house, which is the old stable, about 150 years old, which visitors also get to come and see. So I moved into the house and then I thought, you know what, I'll start a small garden. But this sinkhole from millions of years ago had this amazing collection of palm trees. And because all these palms were here and growing wild, planted by the birds, in what was a derelict orchard of 200 years ago, that was the infrastructure. And because it is a big sinkhole, the palms are all different levels. So it created the drama. It was good to look at before I started it. It's a range of tropical plants. Obviously, as I said, the palms make the entire background. Not only are the ones that are indigenous to Barbados and we're here, I've been importing plants since I was 27. I have the general wonderful tropical things like bromeliads, which are family to the pineapple. They give amazing color all year. We have metanilias, we have anthuriums, a huge collection of heliconias, and of course lots of ferns and everything else. The Chelsea Flower Show is really important to Barbados because we try every year to win a gold medal, and it's very prestigious to do that. We, of course, give them all they need in leaves, primarily, because we don't have that many exotic flowers that would last the length of time cut. A very exciting thing is going to happen. Barbados is hosting the World Flower Arranging Show. And that's going to be a really exciting time for us here because the entire world will be coming to Barbados.
And no doubt many of those visitors will be heading to Hunt's Garden, which is set in the lush hills of St Joseph's. Like the island, Anthony's Garden is its own tropical paradise, where you'll find spectacular species blooming, but you don't have to be a horticultural enthusiast to visit. The gardens, split over 3 different levels, are a fabulously inspirational place. And with classical music radiating from almost every corner, it's a magical place to just sit and reflect. At Cobbler's Cove Tropical Gardens and hidden away in a quiet corner is the Sea Moon Spa, dedicated to help guests relax and unwind. The treatments are inspired by the ocean and island's tropical surroundings, and their signature massage and facials are the perfect way to while away the hours between the beach and cocktail hour. So after your massage at the Sea Moon Spa, grab a sundowner and watch the sunset. Another jaw-dropping location to watch the sun go down in Barbados is the very fashionable Cliff restaurant. Directly overlooking the sea and boasting some of the island's most exquisite food, the Cliff is rated as one of the best restaurants in the world. Framed by Olympian-style torches and decorated with mirrors that reflect the Caribbean Ocean, this is the place to eat out and be seen in Barbados. And it's not every restaurant where the entertainment is sharks swimming in the torch-lit ocean beneath. The Cliff epitomises everything about Barbados. It's stylish and laid back, where life is carried out at a wonderfully relaxed pace. The perfect summer getaway. Set in the dramatic foothills of the Alps is Lake Como. Just shy of 30 miles long and almost 3 miles wide, it's Italy's third largest lake, covering 146 square kilometres. Nestling alongside are private villas and hotels, many with beautiful formal gardens which tourists are free to explore. Arguably one of the most beautiful is the Grand Hotel Villa Cerboloni. This magnificent yellow building has welcomed some of the world's most famous guests, including former US presidents and Hollywood film stars.
This hotel was built as a private house in around 1850 by a Swiss family which lived in Bergamo. And this was a gift of the husband for the 20th anniversary of wedding to his wife. Then the family, they kept the villa for about 25 years, and they sell it to a society of Milano, which turned it into an hotel by adding the 2 wings. The hotel opened then 1873. At the time it had 200 rooms, more than 200 rooms, but no bathrooms because there was no current water at the time. So when my family took it over, it was 1918. At the moment the hotel has 95 rooms. From the outside it looks exactly the same because it is an historical building. It is very difficult to change anything, even to paint the house, so very complicated. The building itself is almost as big as the entire town. The road is not in front of the hotel, so we have a garden, after the garden directly the lake, and we have a private access to the lake, and luckily we have also a garden behind the hotel, so we are in the middle of the town, but in a very green area.
The town of Bellagio is in the centre of Lake Como. The lake is shaped like the letter Y, and Bellagio is where the 3 prongs meet. Bellagio is often referred to as the Pearl of the Lake, with its charming lakeside restaurants, quaint cobbled streets, delicious delis and stylish artisan boutiques. Essentially, it's exactly how you'd expect an Italian town would look. Bellagio's population is around 200, which compared to the 900 or so tourist beds available, tells you just how popular this town is. It's one of Lake Como's prettiest towns, and so it's easy to spend hours just pottering around the maze of attractive streets, exploring the town and shops, and of course, alfresco cafes. There's more upmarket restaurants directly overlooking the lake, and plenty of water taxis ready to take you on a tour. A leisurely 30-minute boat ride from Bellagio is Villa del Balbianello. Perched on the tip of a wooded peninsula and surrounded by beautifully manicured lawns, delicate flowers and dramatic terraces, it's one of the world's most beautiful and romantic villas. So mesmerising is its beauty that after a visit by Hollywood director George Lucas, this terrace and grounds were used to film the lake retreat scenes for the Star Wars film Attack of the Clones. The villa was also used for the most recent Casino Royale James Bond remake, and with such a stunning setting, it's easy to see why directors are eager to shoot here. In accordance with the villa's last owner, Guido Monzino, who led Italy's first Mount Everest expedition, it's been left exactly as he used it. The explorer died in 1988, leaving his magnificent villa, including all his books and artefacts, to the National Trust of Italy. In fact, the villa is exactly as he left it. Today, hundreds of tourists and the occasional director clamber to take a look around this fabulous home and the explorer's fabulous library. A visit to Villa Balbianello is like taking a step back in time. Map books have been left out on aisles where they were once studied, and the layout of each room frozen in time. Part of the house has a dedicated museum room with artefacts large and small from his many expeditions, and there's even a bust of the great man himself. It's a fascinating villa steeped in history and beauty, and an absolute must on your list of places to visit if you're touring around Lake Como.
The most beautiful part of everything is really the view that you can enjoy from the central part of the sea in Bellagio. And inside the hotel, I would say that the main lobby, which reminds you of, yes, opulence, but also the way that old artisans were able to work, which is not easy to find anymore. The memory that I have when I was a child is that I didn't want to go on with the hotel business because we were never allowed to run in the garden and to play as a child because we were disturbing all the guests all the time. So I said, no, there is no family life in an hotel business, and I studied engineering. But then when I started to work as an engineer, I decided it was a very boring life, so I went back to the hotel life, which is never boring because you have never one day which is equal to the other. 100% a vacation holiday hotel, and we have a lot of family, and we have a lot of family which comes here every year back because it's a very safe hotel, ground, and even town for children. So the parents can be free to let them run around without any bigger problem. So it's a vacation for the parents and also for the children, which can enjoy the pools and the facilities of the hotel.
One of the best ways which parents can relax at the hotel is their in-house spa. But with undisturbed views like this out across the lake, an afternoon sunbathing on the hotel's man-made private beach is equally as tranquil. The hotel's fine dining Mistral restaurant has some of the best and most romantic views of the surrounding mountains. And as the sun sets behind the Alps, guests are treated to live music for pre- and post-dinner drinks. It's a magical atmosphere that nods to the nostalgia of a glamorous yesteryear. Both the service and gastronomy are wonderful, with the food being prepared by the hotel's Michelin-starred chef. With breathtaking views of Lake Como from the small island of Isola Comacina is the famous and only restaurant here, Locanda del Isola, known by its infamous host, Benvenuto. The food here is served with real theatre, and none more so than the coffee round, as Benvenuto treats the audience to a history lesson about the island. The woolly hat, waistcoat and storytelling are captivating. This is rustic Italian charm at its best. The food is simple but full of flavour, and there's lots of it. 5 courses, in fact, so make sure to arrive with a hearty appetite. The Locanda dell'Isola's impressive food and memorable atmosphere has seen many famous faces pass through its doors over the years. Yes, that is George Clooney, Liam Gallagher on the right, restaurant critic the late Michael Winner front and centre, and Brad Pitt above him. If you're looking for a holiday destination that combines breathtaking natural beauty and a sense of escapism, then a trip to Lake Como with its many little islands, quintessentially Italian towns and fabulous food is a great place to start.